We are live. Hello, and welcome. Okay, for some reason I'm trying to go live also on Instagram. Okay, now. And now it works. Amazing. Cool. Done. Confirm. And we're live. Amazing. Hello, and welcome everyone. A bit of chapstick, aka blisters on my lips to make sure that everything is well hydrated. So hello everyone and welcome. My name is Noemi. I'm the founder of ScaleWave. We are an agency specialized in Amazon ads. Today's session is a public session and it's focused on Amazon advertising. Specifically, I'm going to go ahead and answer all your Amazon PPC questions. We're going to focus on beginner questions at the beginning. And if you have any advanced question, feel free to also drop it in the comment section below. Now, quick sum up of why I'm doing these sessions. 6 years ago when we started on Amazon, I had zero clue on how this Amazon works and what are the skills required in order to make successful our product on Amazon. Hence, learned all the skills, SEO, PPC, product sourcing, what else? Creative. So I learned all those things, and specifically, Amazon ads was one of my Achilles heels, where I was totally a creative person. I had nothing to do with spreadsheets. However, I wanted to learn all that because I consider it was very important for me at that stage. Now, keep in mind that for the past 6 years, I learned a lot, and I also helped other brands scale on Amazon successfully with Amazon ads. And today's session is again one of those sessions when we are just opening up the floor and answering all your Amazon PPC questions. Again, we're focusing on beginners. If you're already a business owner and you are the one who is maybe overseeing the Amazon ads or right now running your own ads, feel free to drop in the comment section your questions. And if you're already using someone who is specialized in managing your Amazon ads, still stay here, stick with me. Maybe you're going to find questions that would be relevant for you to ask your current agency, just to make sure that you are synced and in the know. All right, so first off, hello everyone and welcome. We are streaming right now on LinkedIn, YouTube, and also Instagram. I do have multiple monitors, like screens opened right now in front of me. So if I'm going to go like this quite often, then you will know what is going on, right? Today's session is going to last around 1 hour. I aim to keep it to 1 hour. Now keep in mind also that I am a new mom. So if the baby screams in the background and if nothing is manageable anymore, I might be hopping off just a bit earlier, aiming to still keep it to 1 full hour. Now, during these sessions, as I was saying, we are going to prioritize Amazon advertising. If you have any question that is business related, such as hiring, firing, SOPs, systems, processes, whatever you're struggling right now in your business, feel free to also drop them in the comment section. I'm aiming to answer those questions as well. However, keep in mind, since this is an Amazon ad focus session, I'm going to prioritize those. Now, just walking you through of how we are running these sessions. Questions are being submitted, questions are being asked live. Some of the questions already have been submitted. Some of the topics actually are even questions that I had when I first started, and I want to make sure that I'm answering because I'm hearing those questions from brand owners day in, day out. So this is basically how we're running them. And then on each time when I'm going to just go to the next section, I aim to prioritize, again, questions that are beginning questions, okay? Usually we have a topic of the day. Today I'm going to skip that just because lots of questions are coming in. I want to make sure that all of them are answered. All right, let's make sure that I am well hydrated because we are running a marathon of lots of questions today. Again, quick reference. If you have not been here from the beginning, my name is Noemi. I am founder of the agency called ScaleWave. We are helping brands scale on Amazon with Amazon ads. And the questions that I'm answering are Amazon are Amazon ads related questions. Okay, so let's start. First question goes, what is the real role of an Amazon PPC account manager? So I like how you put it, the real role of an Amazon PPC account manager. Whenever I'm hearing this type of questions, I like to make sure that I'm zooming out for clarity so I understand the question. So right now you're asking, what is the real role of an Amazon PPC account manager? Keep in mind that just like with any stages of skills level and expertise level, an Amazon PPC account manager technically can be someone who is just branded that way, Amazon PPC account manager. Now, they might brand themselves as Amazon strategist, Amazon scaling expert, Amazon expert itself. So there are multiple things that you might hear when it comes down to Amazon account manager. Now, when I am looking at this, I'm looking at as a role, as a position. Let's say if this is a position in ScaleWave, I'm going to look into, okay, so what are the skills needed for this position? And if you're asking Amazon PPC account manager, here it can be 3 different levels skills, right? So the first one, it can be junior. And this is someone who is not yet specialized in Amazon ads. Maybe they are just learning Amazon ads. Maybe this is a data entry type of job, like they're taking screenshots, they are gathering reports, they are doing all those not judgmental related tasks. So that could be one role, right? And in that case, an Amazon PPC account manager in the senior position, they might be just doing that, gathering data, creating reports, or following strictly, closely SOPs that we created internally. So we know exactly that is the way how things are being done, right? So we require not lots of judgment or not lots of strategy. So are you with me? So that is the junior role. Now, an intermediate Amazon PPC account manager in this case could be someone who already understands how SOPs work, who already proven that they can think of once that they are gathering data and now they understand how to put the puzzle pieces together, right? So let's say if a junior it's gathering all the data and it's showing all the data and like, hey, this is where we are right now. What is the next step to make? Then they are going to be able to answer that. Now, the highest tier is going to be an Amazon ad strategist. And while they are also an Amazon PPC account manager, the strategist is going to be someone who sees 3 to 5 to 10 steps ahead, and they know, okay, so this is where our goal is and where we want to bring the business to make sure that it's what we call success, and then they're working backwards to how do we achieve that. Example, this is the person that would be then understanding what are the reports that were gathered from the junior. This is the person who would be understanding, okay, on the intermediate level, what are the judgments calls that were taken. And this is the person, for example, who could be someone who is looking through, all right, so if we want to achieve XYZ goal by end of quarter, then these are the steps that we should be taking this month, these weeks, and now today, right? So this is not necessarily such hands-on type of role, but it's going to be, okay, it's a reporting role rather, right? So I'm going to report to you. I'm going to showcase, okay, where we are right now, and they are going to take the next steps or next decisions to see if we are still on track, if we are off track, or if we're ahead of our goals. So when you're asking what is the real role of an Amazon PPC manager, for me, it's going to be really important to understand at what stage is this manager, because if I don't understand the stage that they're currently in, I might be asking things from them that are not relevant, right? So in this case, assuming you hired an Amazon ads agency and you're asking, okay, so what is your role? Their role might be something that is on a junior level that anyhow needs to be gathered, which is data gathering, reporting, and then making sure that you are always just tracking everything, tracking even buy box issues, tracking even if the listings are still active or not, right? So those are going to be the basics. And then the intermediate and strategist level, you will see if they're also offering that. Now, I hope that I answered the question, but when it comes down to real role, I think it's going to be really important for you, especially if you're hiring an agency, from that point of view to know, okay, please let me understand what is your role. How are you going to help besides just the reports, besides just like being busy, right? So are you going to be able to help me actively achieve the goals, or is this service only? And I am not saying this in a judgmental way. I'm saying it from the point of view that I also, on my end, hired different people who were like, oh, help me with my, for example, help me with my Facebook ads. And I was like, oh, and I'm thinking to do strategy and so on. I'm like, no, I'm just generating this, and I'm just, it's just a service. So it's not going to be one-on-one, and it's not going to be all those things. So now thinking back, hey, this is exactly with whenever you would hire anyone, right? So coming back to this, really just look into, okay, ask more questions when it comes down to role of the person or the account manager. The basics, I think it should be bid management, reporting, and also keeping an eye on anything that's going on account, making sure that the account is healthy. So no suspensions, you always have the buy box. That is really the minimum. Let me know if that helped. All right, so next it's going to be, how do you tell whether a performance issue is PPC related or caused by factors like listing quality, pricing, or inventory? Oh, great question. So the way how we are going to tell this, I actually would assume right away that it is a non-PPC issue rather than a PPC issue. Why? Because, Amazon ads or ads in general are just going to generate traffic. So they are bringing traffic to one specific, either landing page, either in this case, Amazon listing. Now, if you already brought traffic and the listing is not converting, usually I would look into listing quality, pricing, or you're saying inventory here. Yeah, it can be also inventory related. Clear example, if you don't have any more inventory, or the inventory is going to come up in, I don't know, in 5 days, and your competitors' product, they already have inventory, they can ship the same day, clearly they are going to win over you, unless your product, it has something exceptional that the customer wants to choose, right? So in that case, clearly it is a listing, so it's a non-PPC related issue. When it comes down to PPC related issue, here we would be looking at, I brought already traffic to a listing and I see that the listing is not converting, and then, or if it's converting, it's too expensive, then I would look into what are my competitors doing, why are they successful, why are they making more sales, right? But usually I would judge first non-PPC and then I would look into PPC, to be honest, because most of the time what we're seeing is that many brands are still thinking of their brand as 6 years ago or 8 years ago or even 10 years ago. And they're just, hey, I brought traffic to my listing and it did not convert it. Right now, even I, as a shopper, going on Amazon, checking on products and seeing, hey, everyone just stepped up their game, right? So if my listing, it still looks like, not like 2 years ago, but like last quarter, and I see that my competitors already, they improved even their titles, their images, so they improved their listing, they are going to take away my market share. Let me know if that helped. Okay, allow me to drink some more water. We are quarter way ahead. Cool. Okay, so next is, how can you tell if an Amazon PPC agency is truly strategic or just managing bids and basic stuff? Great question. So this ties back really well into a previous question, like 2 questions ago, was like, what is the real role of an Amazon PPC account manager? So you cannot really tell if they are strategic or just managing stuff unless you tried out working with them. Why am I saying that? Is because I'm seeing in our industry, we are in marketing and people genuinely are going to BS their way just to close a deal with you, And this is the truth, right? So based on that, what I'm seeing or what I tested on my end, so I can give you my perspective as a brand owner who hired out specific skills and specific things, for our brand. Until you are trying it out, you are not going to see it. Why am I saying that? Is because, for example, even in our case, when we are helping out brands and we are seeing a clear path on how to make them successful, how to launch their product if they're launching a new product, how to increase their bottom profits. how to do all that. At the end, it's going to come down to, okay, we are implementing that, but then still Amazon is going to react in a certain way, or it can happen that listings are being taken down, and then, okay, it's not the agency's fault, but literally Amazon just decided to suspend your listing. So technically during this time, just you are not able to test specific things. So when it comes down to this, I think you need to give it time to see if someone is truly strategic or not, and genuinely needs to give them an opportunity to prove that. Why am I saying that is because it's okay to also deliver basic tasks such as bid optimization, reporting, client communication. So all the basic needs that you would need in order to see, hey, actually someone else is taking care of my ads. I don't have to take care of them. But in the same time, I believe that also when it comes down to strategic, it's going to be important to see if once they see and understand your product, can they locate what is the biggest bottleneck and then help. Why am I saying this is because we just recently spoke with one of the brands, larger brands that we're managing on Amazon, and it was coming down to, hey, Noemi, what are other strategies that we can implement in our ads? And keep in mind, these are for some time already our clients, so we are managing their brand for a while. And it was like, hey, you have X problem right now. If we're solving X problem, then we can think of, okay, let's increase now ad spend to see how it's going to work. And then it's when we can see our gaps and bottlenecks. And it was funny because, they were also interviewing, or someone else from their team were interviewing other agencies as well. And they were promising these big things. Oh, okay, your listing images and so on and so forth. Like, we can improve so many things. I'm like, yes, and yet they have no clue on how your brand is performing on Amazon, on the niche that you're currently in. If we're doing this XYZ, implementing right now in your listing is going to be suspended just because we already done all those things and we've gone through all those things and now we understand, So this is why I'm saying that it's going to be really, the proof is in the pudding. Try them out, see how they work. Again, don't be unrealistic. So if you set a goal commonly and you're saying, hey, we're not going to reach that goal, at least 1 to 2 months, 3 months even, I would give someone to see, hey, they are a good fit or not, especially when it comes down to they proved or they told you that they're going to be strategic. Let me know if that helped. All right, cool. So next question is there a simple Amazon PPC tutorial I can follow to get started without feeling overwhelmed? Of course, you can also check out my YouTube channel. I aim to provide this session, so the Amazon Ask Me Anything session, and also I also generated a few standalone videos where I'm walking you through on how would you set up XYZ, manual campaigns, automatic campaigns, sponsor product, sponsor brand, and sponsor display campaigns. Check out our channel. Okay. Next question is, how should I structure broad match campaigns? No. How should I structure modified broad match campaigns to discover new keywords without wasting budget? Great question. So when it comes down to this match type, what this is basically, there are 3 match types that everyone knows about: the exact match, the broad match, and the phrase match, right? And then the broad modifier is going to be with a plus sign in front of each word. And that way you're going to just make sure that all the search terms that are going to be generated are going to contain that exact word. Example, let's say our product is a cat scratch furniture protector. This would be a product that is helping you or your cat not scratch anymore on the furniture. In that case, we have already cat scratch furniture protector, so 4 words. If we are going to have this in a broad modified, we are going to have in front of the word cat like a plus sign right next to it. So plus sign, cat, don't leave the space between. And then everything that you would be generating should be cat related. So all the search terms that are going to pop out for that specific keyword would have the word cat. Now, let's say that we want to go one step further. We want to say cat scratch. So everything that is cat scratch related is going to be in the search term. In that case, you're going to add the plus sign in front of the cat and plus sign of in front of the word scratch. Let me know if that makes sense, but this is a way how to work around how to target in exact-ish match keywords rather than just, all the broad keywords or search terms in this case that would come up from Amazon. Okay, cool. So next question is, what PPC strategies consistently produce the best results on Amazon? So what strategies here, being total category agnostic, I believe that the best ones that are performing well is right now what I'm seeing. The ones that are within a specific strategy, example, let's get we're running 5 strategies. Protect, where we are targeting branded terms. Conquer, where we're targeting someone else's brand terms and products. Then rank, where we'll have exact match keywords. Dominate, where we have exact match keywords and specific placements. And discover, where we have everything else that it's not exact match. Now, what I'm seeing so far is that everything that is within the strategy, if it's labeled with a strategy, I'm going to say that it performs brilliantly. And then we are going to see, hey, is there anything else that we should optimize? Either we should optimize towards profitability, either towards scalability. Now, when it comes down to strategies that consistently produce best results on Amazon, it's going to be still highly dependent on your brand. So once that you're going to deploy these strategies, then you're going to see, okay, so for example, let's say I'm in a supplement niche and my products are $20 and my CPC is $20 for the one keyword, right? So in that case, what you would be looking into, is there any option for me to advertise on competitor listings and then target their AC rather than specific keywords? And in that sense, you can still use the strategy. It's just you're going to do a different targeting method. Let me know if that helped. Our cat is meowing consistently, so we shall see. When is he giving in? He wants to come inside the room, so that's what's happening. No worries, we're not punishing or something. He's just like, he wants to have us open every door. All right, so we are intentionally run a campaign. Okay, good. So next question is, hi Noemi, we intentionally run a campaign at 80% ACOS in product launch phase. What is best strategy that reduce ACOS below 30% for buying ranking? All right, so really important now that you say that's product launch. So let's understand your question. You're in product launch. You already know your ACOS, it's 80%. I don't know if that's profitable or not, right? 80% might be profitable, 80% might not be profitable. I'm assuming that 80% of this case it's not profitable and you're aiming to have a 30%. And then the third question in the question, so the third thing is that what is the best strategy that reduce ACOS below 30% for buying ranking? So you have competing goals right now, which is not going to allow you that. Why am I saying that? Is that if you see already that your first off product launch, that is the most costly and goes hand in hand with gaining additional market share, because what you're doing technically, you want to gain additional market share from products that already proved to be selling well. Now you're pushing your product and advertising it, and you clearly have results because 80% ACOS still, that means that you made at least one sale. Now, the second thing that we want to understand is how quickly do you want to go from one stage to another one, like launch stage, that technically can mean anything between 1 to 3 months, ideally 3 months, or that's when you will see actually where you want to bring the ACOS. Is it possible or not? Between, already you have an established product and there you're just going to optimize for profitability, and then afterwards you're going to go for additional keywords. So why am I saying this is because right now, if you're in product launch phase and you want to bring down your ACOS, you definitely can. You can just optimize bids down and make sure that, your bids are going to be lower. However, that goes hand in hand with the first thing, that if you're in product launch and if you want to make as many sales as possible, so you're organically ranking, what you're doing, you're cutting down your sales, right? Because you're not going to show up anymore on that specific placement. So for example, in our case, what we would do to achieve a result that would be helpful in your scenario, we would be actually running for at least 1 month to see, okay, now that we're generating sales, keep in mind you're in product launch phase, no one really knows the product, not sure if you have already reviews, if you don't have reviews, not sure if you have a negative review, and that's already something that it's going to turn off many people to buying your product. So what we would be doing in this case, we would see, okay, can I reduce it from 80 to 70 without losing sales? And if we can, great. And if we are still bringing in sales, great. And then we would go like strategically and lower even more. But if you want to rank for specific keywords and if you want to organically achieve those sales, it's going to be hard for you, because as I was saying, these are going against each other. So you have goals that are going against each other. You can reduce, but then you're going to cut down sales as well. So technically, imagine this way: if you are unproven, if no one knows you, let's say you are just like in a networking event, no one knows you, you would have to put in way more effort for someone to notice you, for someone to buy in whatever you have to say, whatever you have to sell, hear what I'm saying, how you're presenting yourself, and so on and so forth, than someone who is showing up and it's already famous and everyone knows them and they naturally want to go through them. The same analogy you would also apply when it comes down to product launches. Let me know if that helped. Okay, cool. Baby started crying. Let's see, how long can we push this? Baby's with the daddy. No worries, she's not alone. It just at some point she wants me. Okay, so when should I use self-targeting campaigns and what benefits do they provide? Self-targeting campaigns. So let's talk about self-targeting campaigns, what these are. As I was mentioning, in Scale, we're running 5 different type of strategies. Protect, which means that we're protecting our own brand name and our branded keywords. And this is the self-targeting campaign that they are talking about. When should you use these strategies? I would say always, even from the beginning, when you're just launching your product, and just run these campaigns. The reason why I'm saying this is because we have the second strategy, which is Conquer, which is specifically we're targeting branded terms and products that where we have a competitive advantage against, right? And brand names is also from their product, is also something that we would be targeting. And if we are running ads, but you're not running ads, our product is going to show up, not yours. So you should be running these from day one, I believe. And what benefits do they provide? So first off, if someone is running already ads for your products, and you are going to run ads for your products as well, your ads, Amazon is going to favor your ads before theirs, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing, your bids are going to be way lower for your own brand usually than if someone else is bidding for your keywords and for your brand. Okay, so the question is, what PPC strategy works best when launching a new book on Amazon? So when it comes down to launching even a book, we would see it the same way on how can we launch that, similar to a private label item. In this case, what we would be doing, depending on how much budget a brand has or a client has, based on that, we would be running self-targeting campaigns. So everything that is related to the author's name and the title of the book, we would run ads for that. We would run ads for everything that is our competitor. So if we want to generate additional traffic from their listings already, we would run those ads. We would also run exact match campaigns in specific keywords that are specific to your niche, right? Here really depends. If the niche is very narrow and we want to get additional traffic, we would also target keywords that are more broader but still are going to bring traffic. So these 3 are must-haves. And once that we have more proof of what works, what doesn't, we would be launching also dominate campaigns, which means that we already have proof that XYZ keyword already, they are performing really well. Let's create their own campaign. Let's attribute their own budget to it. And then, of course, discovery campaigns. These are everything that is not exact match. So auto, phrase, broad, those type of campaigns. Category match, category targeting even. Right, let me know if that helped. Next question is, what's the best way for a beginner to start advertising on Amazon using PPC? It's tough. I'm going to be honest with you. It is tough because right now, as a beginner, if you're starting, you're going to blow. Either you're going to blow up a lot of budget, either you're not going to generate the sales that you're looking for. But if it comes down to you want to start, perfect. I would first off recommend to find someone who is who you resonate with, and just look up their content. Either if it's a course, either if they're it's a YouTube channel like the one that I'm running, where you have specifically structured videos, tutorials on how to run Amazon ads. But find the one person and then just follow whatever they're saying and see how whatever they are saying is applicable to whatever you're doing. And why am I saying this is because looking back 6 years ago when I started, because I did not know better, I looked at everyone and I implemented everything what they were saying. And just because I did not had the knowledge, what I ended up with, some of the strategies that I implemented, these were these tips, tricks, hacks, whatsoever. I implemented them, but then when it came down to triaging, when it came down to optimizing, when it came down to even duplicating success, I was not able to do so. So what I would advise you in this case, because you are starting advertising, first off, find the one person that you can follow and then see how they are thinking about advertising and see, okay, how could you duplicate their success? That would be the easiest way, honestly. Or you can, always just start a campaign and then see how it works. I would not suggest doing that, but that is also how you can start. How should I adjust my PPC? So the question is, how should I adjust my PPC strategy before, during, and after Prime Day? Great question. It's very relevant as well. Here in the States now in 2026, today's date is July 29th. So Prime Day just finished. It was during Thursday and Friday last week. And what we're seeing is when it came down to Prime Day, the best thing that we could do is not only to optimize our bids, but optimize campaigns. And then by that, what I mean is focusing on the campaigns that were best performing, because you might say strategically and technically, you can look at yes, you might want to increase your bids to make sure that you're still going to get impressions. However, what is super specific to especially occasions like that, like Prime Day, it's going to be the budget. Do you still have budget? Because if the budget is running out, it doesn't matter if your bids are optimized, there's nothing else to spend, So that was the first thing that we really would look into before, during, and after Prime Day. Of course, bid adjustment, it's one of the things that was important, but budgets was one of the things that were more important because budgets were running out quicker than expected. Right, allow me to drink some more. Next question is, when does it make sense to disable a PPC campaign instead of optimizing it? Great question. I will zoom out for clarity and understand why was the campaign created. The reason for that is because even when we are auditing accounts, we are seeing these campaigns that are legacy campaigns that have been running for the past, 2-3 years. And 2-3 years ago, they worked, but now they are not anymore. And they are not working just because we might have different strategies, or the bids for those specific keywords are higher, or something happened, and what we are ending up with, lots of enabled campaigns that are just noise. So in this case, what we would be doing is looking through the whole account. And this is something that you can do right now, even if you ask the question. maybe just pause and go through your account and see which are all the campaigns that right now are enabled. They're not anymore part of a strategy. They are not anymore bringing sales for the specific targets that I had for this campaign. Example, if you had a ranking campaign for one specific keyword and the ranking campaign, it is an exact match, and you see that that keyword is not anymore, not only not ranking, but it's not even showing up in top of search, so the highest placement, but it's just hanging in there and it's bringing most of their impressions and clicks from other placements. That technically is not anymore a ranking campaign, right? So in that case, what we would be doing, we would be reconsidering, all right, first off, when we started this campaign, was it last week? Was it 2 months ago? Was it 3 months ago? Was it a year ago? Because if it was 2 weeks ago, maybe it's something that we're still generating data, we're just gathering, and maybe it would be in a slower way how we're gathering data, just we want to get more clicks and more like, we want to understand what is going on for that keyword. But if this was 2 years ago and there's like, it's just noise, we would pause it in that case. And then in the same structure, the same strategy, we would be going through the whole account. And the easiest way for you for doing this would be, there's a way how you can select the dates when you started the campaigns and just download all the campaigns, current campaigns, enabled campaigns within the account from the ad console. If you're using the ad console, if you're using software, even easier probably. And then just filter out which are the campaigns that you just created recently, and then which are the campaigns that were running previously, but it's just like they're just hanging in there and they are not something that you should be optimizing. Those are the ones that you would be pausing. And if at any point in time those campaigns were successfully generating sales, what we would do is we just put a small X in front of the campaign. You can use your own naming structure, of course. What we're doing internally, that's easy. We're just putting an X in front of the campaign, and then we are, when we have dedicated time in going through more in depth of the account and understanding, hey, what worked for us? Can we reuse the same strategy? Are we still able to rank for specific keyword that worked previously well for us? Then those are the first campaigns that we would be re-enabling and look through the campaigns as well. Let me know if that helped. Next question, how can I use Helium 10 data to build a strong exact match PPC strategy? So first off, Helium 10 is a third-party tool. And then when it comes down strong exact match PPC strategy, here the strategy, what it's asked about is out of the 4 ad types that you can run, like how you're going to match the keyword, exact match, phrase match, broad match, and broad modified. They are asking about exact match. So they want to show up exactly for the specific keyword that they are targeting. In this case, again, if you're saying that you want to use Helium 10, what you can do is, first off, you could run, how it's called? Yeah, lapsus. But there's a way how you can look up your own listing, how it's performing through Cerebro. You can look up your own listing and see which are the keywords that right now I'm not targeting in my listing. However, I'm ranking organically above place 50. So above the, on the first page of Amazon. And of course, if it's between the 20 and the 50 range, you can be considering, hey, does it make sense for me to advertise maybe 5 of the keywords and see in exact match if I'm going to advertise, will I produce the same amount of sales, or would it move the needle at least? So that would be one of the strategies. The second strategy here you can do is you can look up your competitors and see what are the keywords that they are bringing traffic and revenue from. And the way how you would know this is that they are ranking higher or within the first page, in this case, of Amazon. So let me know if that helps. That is 2 of the ways how you can use Helium 10 data to build exact match campaigns. Okay. Next question. Does Amazon PPC impact organic rankings and listing performance? Yes, it does. And the way how this would be impacting is whenever you're running advertising for your listing, and whenever it's converting the keyword that you ran advertising on, then Amazon is going to reward you through relevancy. So example, again, cat scratch furniture protector. Let's say this is our product, which is a product that is going to help you against cat scratches on the furniture, and say that you're going to run ads for this specific product, and cat scratch furniture protector is one of your keywords, main keywords, and then you're running ads for that specific keyword, cat scratch furniture protector, and in exact match. And you see that you are ranking higher and higher on the first page of Amazon. This is proof for you that actually running ads for one specific keyword did help you with organic ranking. Now, something else that can happen is that even if you have this specific keyword, you're running ads for it, but your competitors' listings or prices or whatever they're doing on their end, either they have faster shipping, either they have a lower pricing, either they have better images, either they have way more reviews than you. So in case that you're seeing that you're running an exact match for this keyword and you're still not sticking on the first page, what can happen is that, okay, genuinely your competition is way stronger. So then besides Amazon ads, I will still be running ads because I want to see, okay, how it's going to perform once that we're improving the one thing, right? So in this case, let's say that we're still running ads. We would not stop ads. Why? Because otherwise, if you're stopping ads, Amazon is going to penalize you because you organically showed up for something and you're pushing it with advertising. And if you're stopping ads completely, then no one is going to find you. So it's going to be a skewed test. So in this case, we are running ads. We're running ads for the exact same keyword. And let's say we're going to test the main image. We're going to improve our main image or thumbnail and then see, hey, did this help with getting clicks quicker than the previous main image? And if it did, great. At least now you have proof that it's a listing issue, at least that you can control. And then we will conduct exactly the same things on the rest of the images. And if we can, we are going to improve our A+ content. If we can, we are going to improve our all the other things that we can improve on our listing pricing, if that is one of the things, or coupons or so on. But genuinely, we tested pausing ads and we tested also running ads. When we tested this and we noticed that we are not comparing anymore apples to apples or oranges to oranges, we are comparing oranges to apples, because now we don't have any more the traffic that is generated. We're just hanging on, hey, this worked organically, it's not pushing anymore with ads organically, and then we compare data that was skewed. Let me know if that helped. Right, we're 42 minutes in. 5 more minutes to go, actually. So next question is, what should I focus on when analyzing Amazon PPC reports? When it comes down to Amazon PPC reports, you should focus on whatever your goal is. If you have the goal to bring in more eyeballs to your listing, then you should look into impressions and clicks, right? If your goal is to optimize whatever performance you already have, you would be looking at the click-through rate. If you have the goal of making more sales, you would be looking into, compared to last time when I spent, let's say, $100 on this keyword, and now I'm spending $200 on that keyword, and now I have budget for it. The budget is not going to run out during the day. Does it make sense for me? So when it comes down to this, really it's going to come down to what is your goal with the campaign itself, because that is the thing that you should be focused on. What you should not be focusing on, even more important thing, is that, especially as a beginner, when I started Amazon ads, there's so much content out there, and there's so much like, look at this and look at that and LTV and so on. Like, yes, those things are important when it comes down to you want to optimize for them. But if you do not want to optimize for them, all those are going to become shiny objects that you're going to put your attention towards. And that is something that you must be just like blocking out everything. Because what is going to happen is that if your goal was, in this case, let's say your goal was to create additional sales, and that goal was not to only profitable create that additional sales, but you want to make sure that, hey, you're also going to stick on the first page of Amazon for specific keywords. Now, if you're going to look into this new hack that is going to bring your ACOS down and so on and so forth, you're just putting two strategies next to each other. The second one might be great, but not right now to focus on. It should be it is usually taking your attention from the main thing that, hey, I want to generate more sales. Right now, I can optimize, but I cannot cut down the bids that much that I'm losing impressions and I'm throttling everything that I built up for. One of those questions come in just earlier when they were saying, hey, I'm in product launch phase and I want to get from this ACOS, high ACOS, to this low ACOS. How do I do that? It's like, yes, no one knows you. You're just launching your product, and yet you're still limiting on you want to do it also profitable. Think of it like a business expense. Whenever no one knows you, no one knows your brand, you would be spending upfront way much more to just get known, rather than if already someone knows you and they are just going to purchase your brand no matter what because you are already a known brand. That is a different game ball, right? So let me know if that helped. But when it comes down to what should you focus on when analyzing your reports, have the one goal, and then based on the one goal, okay, did I achieve this goal? Great. Did I improve my sales? If that was the goal, because usually with ads, that is the goal. You're going to generate more sales. Now, the second thing, there's no guarantee that's going to be sales that are always profitable, right? So from now on that the sales are there, can you optimize this towards profitability? That is goal 2. That is not goal 1, right? All right, next question is, how can I use PPC to successfully relaunch a product that has lost momentum? Yeah, so basically you would treat this as a new product launch. And really importantly, when it comes down to this one, I would also run advertising right now to see how does my product performs with anything that's already improved. Why? It's because most of the time what I'm seeing, and this is also a discussion that we have with brands that we managed, where previously, like 2-3 years ago, they had a good performance when it comes down to their advertising, but now they just lost momentum and no one is purchasing anymore their product if we're targeting one specific keyword that brought a lot of sales 2-3 years ago. And then we have a hard time explaining to them, look, this specific keyword did generate these sales. However, your competition, they just picked up momentum and they are right now, their listings is better. And especially even if they had, previous agencies managing their ads and like they wanted to upsell it, or not even upsell, but they saw that, again, listing needs to be improved and they didn't do the best job. It's going to be very common, especially from people who are super, fearful when it comes down to, hey, I don't want to invest anymore into my listing. And it's going to be always like, oh, I should not be reinvesting again in creatives, in SEO and so on, which is, if you're thinking this way, I zoom out for clarity. Business, it's not static. If you're not investing in improving, also I'm seeing with our business, if we're not investing in improving constantly and learning constantly and implementing whatever we learned and improved in the business, it's not going to work. So the same way when it comes down to product relaunch, first off, I would run the same ads that you already ran previously to see how do they perform right now for you. And from there, at least you have a bottom line. You have a base rate. From there, you can increase, your conversion rate. All right, guys, 1 and 48 minutes. I'm going to answer one more question because we spoke a lot. I think 3 questions already were related to product launch, and this is the last one that I want to answer because it's again about launching and might be really helpful. So what should I prepare before launching my first product, my first Amazon PPC campaign? What should I prepare before? Okay, so the question is, what should I prepare before launching my first Amazon PPC campaign? First off, know your product. And by knowing your product, I mean, okay, what are all the benefits, features of your product, and what are the things that makes your product better, higher quality, something that's above competition. Why am I saying that? Is because if you don't have that implemented in your listings, highly likely that even if you're going to run ads, it's going to just maximize all the flaws or all the optimization options or possibilities that you currently have for the product itself and you have not implemented, right? So that is the first thing that I would do before launching your first product. Second thing, before launching your first product, I would assure that you have enough inventory. When it comes down to inventory, I would say at least 50 to 100 units within the warehouse and available to sell. Why? Is because what can happen is that if you have only a handful of items, you're going to run ads, and then let's say you have 5 units available, you're running ads. once those 5 units have been sold, then next what it's going to look on the shipping time, it can be that you sent into FBA products, and naturally it would have came to the same day or maybe in 2 days max to the customer's address, and this time, if you don't have available inventory to ship right away, it can show up, usually comes between 2 to 3 weeks or something like that. So Amazon is going to give this time approximation on how long it takes. And what's happening in that scenario is that we are running advertising towards a listing. When we're running advertising, the shopper cannot see the estimated time delivery, right? Estimated delivery time. And then what can happen is that once that they are not seeing that, they're clicking on the listing, and afterwards they are seeing how much or how long it's going to take until they're receiving the item, and then they're going to say, hey, this is something that I'm going to receive in 2 weeks. I want it yesterday, So they are going to check out another product. Hence, you just wasted one click in that case, So those are things that I would be preparing before launching your Amazon campaigns. The third thing, right before, once that you have all these things figured out, I would have a clear list of exact match keywords and products that I would want to target. And depending on your budget, I would have not done this for more than 5 to 10 keywords. Again, if your budget is lower, we're going to go for lower amount of keywords. But those are the most important things. Summing them up, again, just make sure that your listing is optimized successfully and you're answering all the potential questions that one might have. The second thing, make sure that you have inventory. The third thing, make sure that you have a list of all the keywords and ACINs that you would be targeting. And even if you already launched, on Amazon and you have just 5 products, I would still say, hey, rather than running ads right away, wait, because we don't want to waste clicks. Because what is going to translate to Amazon, once that someone is clicking with your listing, they're not going to assume that, hey, this person saw that it takes 2 weeks to get the product. What Amazon is going to see is this is not relevant. This keyword is not relevant for this listing. So that's why I'm saying. All right, very cool. So thank you so much for all the questions. Again, it was a pleasure to be here and answer all these. My name is Noemi. I'm the founder of Skillwave. We are an agency specialized in Amazon ads. If you found value in this video, make sure that you're going to click the link button, click the like button. There you go. Okay. I think I'm dehydrating. So click the like button below. And if you're currently running ads on Amazon and you would need a second pair of eyes just to go to strategically of what is going on right now on a strategic level on your account, feel free to book a quick call with either me or someone from my team. We would be just going through your account, 24 hours audit, even less than that, and then we can see exactly what is going on. Because what can happen most of the time, especially if you are either not, hands-on on advertising. So if you're not running your ads and someone else is running, what can be, it's like, okay, they are just like doing minimum amount, possible. Or it can be that, hey, you have different strategies, you have scale like goals towards scalability, and that's not achieved. So what we want to do during these calls quickly, just like, okay, this is where you are right now. This is what we see that we can be saving right now in things that are just wasted. And these are the keywords, or these are the strategies that you would be implementing right away within your listing. That being said, again, a pleasure to be here with you. My name is Noemi Bolojan. I'm the founder of Skillwave. Check out our agency. More than happy to be on the call with you. Take care and hope to see you next week when we are going to be back. Same day, Monday. We switched the day to Monday from Tuesday. Same day, Monday from 1 p.m. EDT time. Take care. Have a good one. Bye. All right, ending stream. Take care. Bye.